Hi there, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Decided to do this video rather atypically, right? In a setting that is somewhat mundane, right? I'm on my morning run. And why? Because I feel that Valentine's Day is just like every other day, truthfully. It is, in its true, real sense, right? Not in the superficial, societal sense of how it's viewed. In the truest sense, being about love, right? That celebration occurs every day, right? Every day is a celebration of our existence as souls, as light, as love. And so, you know, if you're feeling, I don't feel the love, right? I don't feel the love. I feel like I need the love. I feel like I must search for the love. I must find the love, right? Where is the love? If you find yourself asking yourself that, right? Go within yourself. Connect to yourself in that space of stillness, because that is the only place you will find it. The only place. True love exists within yourself. It's the unison, the unity, the relationship between your soul self and your human perception, awareness, and existence. Once you can merge those two parallels, and find peace there, that's where you will feel the boundless love, the most true and authentic form of it that exists. And true love is that. It is boundless. It is abundant, right? And true love, I believe, even between two people, is just the recognition and the reflection of the love that those two people are within and of themselves, right? I don't believe that love can be given. I don't believe that love can be taken. I don't believe that love is tangible. I don't believe it's conditional, right? True love and true fulfillment and satisfaction of the soul is realizing the soul in and of itself, acknowledging it, acknowledging that it is love and light, that you are love and light, and that we are here to appreciate that space within each one of us, right? And I believe that that's really what forms, right, a true and authentic, healthy, positive, and empowering relationship. One that in which both people, right, recognize the other person's soul path, right? Recognizes that that person is already love. They don't need me to validate them. I don't need to validate, right, them. I don't need to make them feel love. I just appreciate them. I appreciate their path. And I want to support that, and I want to encourage that, and I want to empower that. And vice versa, right? Both people. So I believe that if you're looking for a relationship, right? You're looking for that soulmate. You're looking for the one, quote unquote. First, connect with this one, right? With the one that you have inside, with the one that you are, with the one that you were born as a soul, right? And the one that you will leave as a soul. Everything here in life, in the interim, in the interval, right? This chapter of life, are merely experiences, right? That enable us to achieve that soul growth, right? So the experiences of relationships, whatever they may be, friends, anything, right? These are all circumstances that allow us to achieve that soul growth, right? Ultimate soul satisfaction, which again, it moves so far and beyond Valentine's Day, right? You're not living for Valentine's Day, right? It's not the love of Valentine's Day where you're like, oh, I'm happy now, right? So it's really, it's about finding yourself, first and foremost, finding yourself, finding your truth, connecting with that in a super solid way. And then it's about finding, right, or just being open and receptive to, which I believe you will be at that stage once you're solid within yourself, right? Then you're just open. You're no longer searching, you're open. You're open to see what comes, right? And you're accepting. And you're appreciative. And more importantly, you can recognize, right, what truly vibrates with you positively, what truly supports your best and most authentic you, what supports your truth as a soul, right? But you have to find that first. You have to find that within yourself. Who am I? What's my truth? What's authentic to me, right? Within me, within myself. Before anybody tries to come in and give that to me, right? I want to find it for myself, and I want to be the one, right, who provides that unconditional love and support, that unity, that bond of the two halves of myself that make me who I am on this soul journey. So I believe that, right, once you enter that space of unconditional love and fulfillment within yourself, then you can be open to recognizing, right, those who come into your life, who are attracted to that vibration that you are emitting and want to support it and want to just simply support it, right? Not validate it, right? Support it. I appreciate you. I support you. I love the love that you are. I appreciate the love that you are. And it's the people who tell you that who truly, right? Who truly, you know, are aligned with you and with your soul path, right? And it's those people who remind you that you already are love. That it's not externalized. It's the irony. It's the irony, right? So, on this day and on every day, remember that you are love. And you are light. You are harmony and vibration. And tune into that, right? Whenever you feel lack, right? Which is just another form of not being calibrated within yourself, right? So I hope that this was helpful in some way. It's a lesson I'm living through. It's a lesson I've learned. It's a lesson I've experienced, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. At the end of the day, we are human. We are human. We have these senses. We have the human senses, right? But it's zooming out and realizing that everything in this world is somewhat of an illusion. It's realizing that when we zoom out, right, we realize what all of this is about. All of this, why we're here, right? And then when you realize that, when you truly grasp that, then you're going to start seeing things differently, right? You start to recognize people that enter your life in a completely different way. Experiences that you experience. Everything then becomes a tool to grow on this journey as a soul, right? Which is boundless, transcendental. And you can achieve boundless growth in that way, all right? So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. This was a topic that I was compelled to share. And I hope that it was of love and light to you all, right? So I'll be proceeding with your readings now, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day as a celebration of the love you are and this reflective space that you share with others. Bye.
Hi there, Scorpio. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys and girls and whoever is tuning in here. This reading will be tapping into the energies of that concept of love that I referred to and spoke of at the beginning of this video. Okay. That which regards our space of self-love, of compassion that we have towards ourselves, right? Appreciation of our journey, all unique, all individual, right? We are all here with a purpose and a path, and it's the finding of that space, right? That really allows us to unify the two halves of our being, right? That which is spiritual, that which is of the soul, right? And then that which is physical, our physical existence, right? The sort of vehicle by which we are experiencing in this dimension soul growth, right? So the appreciation of that journey that we are all on, individually and collectively, is the sort of love that this reading will speak to. So wherever you are on that journey, this card wants to come out, this card wants to come out. Wow, very interesting. Okay. All right, Scorpio. All right. First and foremost, you have a number of major arcana that popped out for you. At your theme, the very base is Temperance in reverse. Out in your spread, you got Judgment in reverse, as well as the Moon. And these two cards are mirroring each other, right? They're on either side of the central card of the Three of Cups. The Moon. the Hierophant at the very base, at the very center. And on either side, in the base, you have the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. Very interesting. Both transformative energies, very transformative, and both sixes, both balanced, 6 and 6. 6 is a number, right, that's been coming up actually a lot. It came up for Leo in their reading. They got the 6 of Cups. And it zeroes in kind of on the sort of give and the take, right? If you split it into 2, you have 3 and 3. And 3 is a number that speaks to stability, right? And you have a 3 in the very top center of your reading, the 3 of Cups. So I'm getting, right, stability of emotions. Definitely there is a reference to the emotional realm in your reading, especially because right beneath the Temperance card in reverse, you have the 10 of Cups. So speaking to the culmination, the closing out, the finality, the final expression of everything, right? Everything in you. Right, and so Scorpio is more of a reclusive type of sign, one that, right, does not easily pour everything out in some ways. Right, in some ways, absolutely, right? They put everything, they're very intense, they're very direct, right? It's all or nothing, they give it all. But it takes a while, right, for Scorpio. And of course it depends what your other planets are, right? If you have a lot of Scorpio energy, a lot of planets in Scorpio, if you have very little, right? If you have other signs that are affecting you energetically in terms of your energetic composition, then, right, that will have its effect on you and how you manifest this energy. But generally, the Scorpio sort of archetype is one that that doesn't very easily, right, express their sort of their more vulnerable side, their more sensitive side, right? Depends, unless they feel very close to you. So it's interesting because you have a card that's speaking to absolute, right, the absolute letting go of everything. And emotions, right, Cups. That's your innermost self. That's like a very vulnerable space, right? It's a space that not everybody is invited to, right, in a way, so to speak. With the, if we're thinking in terms of the Scorpionic archetype, it's a space that that is contributed to by our experiences, right? It's like we accumulate these feelings and these emotions over time by way of the things we experience, and all of this energy, right, that accumulates over time has its tipping point, right, in a way. And that's what this card sort of speaks to, right? The expression, the letting out. And with Temperance in reverse, it's kind of like there's a lack of patience, right? Maybe you've been waiting patiently. You've been trying to be hopeful about something, perhaps. You've been trying to keep your cool. That's what I'm getting. Keep your cool about something. But it's reaching its sort of tipping point, right? And you are feeling compelled to share what you're really feeling about something, right? What is beneath the surface? Bringing it from the inside out, right? We very much see that with this 10 of Cups card, very much. Showing your true colors. This card is so colorful. right? It's like showing all of our colors, right? So, Scorpio. And I'm getting this, there's a feeling of not being able to withhold any longer, right? Some sort of truth. And we see that with judgment. Absolutely, we see that with judgment. Right? It's that division between the black and the white, right? The yin and the yang, the yes or the no, right? It's rising up, and it's transforming from a space of darkness, of not knowing, of not having the answer, of being maybe confused, right? Of being closed in some shape or form, of waiting, right? We're going from passivity and resistance and withholding to expression, decision, transformation, the chrysalis. Okay, Scorpio, I'm sensing there's been a resistance to making this decision, this final decision. Look at justice, judgment. Very much in line with the justice card though, however, right? But look at this card. In reverse, and it's flying straight down into the Six of Wands. I'm sensing there was a resistance to make this final flight. This final decision, right? Breaking from this stage of passivity, perhaps, to I'm ready to transform the situation, the way I do things, right? My part, the part that I play in this situation. I'm ready to open, right? And it seems, right, that you resisted that for some time, but just judgment. And I keep saying justice, right? So let's take that as it is, right? Is this a question of fairness? Is it something that you've been considering in terms of fairness? Is something fair? Have you been withholding something to maybe make a point to be fair about something? Is there a question of what's right? Maybe think about that, because I keep saying that. So maybe it's something that has to do with what you think maybe a situation is in terms of equality, right? However, judgment is flying straight down into the Six of Wands, in a way speaking to the inevitable, right? The inevitable. Even if you resisted it, right? You're still flying down into it, into this change. It's like bringing you right back up, right? Beautiful. It's like, this is the feeling I'm getting, the phoenix rising from the ashes, Scorpio. Okay? I mean, look at these two cards together. This is really interesting. Really interesting. Beautiful interplay of energy. It's like taking a nosedive, right? A head dive down, just to rise up as a butterfly, right? Reborn, breaking out of the chrysalis, old ways of doing things. There is a necessity to change the way that things are done. Wands speak to action, change, initiative, right? Patterns, habit patterns, the way that we do things. And it's a 6, right? And the butterfly is flying up from this sort of the sea of unused, old, right, outdated sort of wands, right? So there's a need to rise by way of transforming our actions and our habits, right? Our temperament. I'm hearing temperament. Maybe you've been holding in a certain temperament for quite some time. Maybe that's what this temperance card is speaking to. Tempering your fire. Look, this peacock, or this ostrich, peacock, ostrich, anyhow, fanning, right? The flame. Like, yeah, I'm cool, it's cool, right? But it's not cool, right? There's a lot going on under the surface. There's the 10 of Cups about to burst, right? I'm going to try and fly in another direction, right? I'm not ready to make this decision, avoiding it, right? I don't want to fly out in the open and declare, right? I'm feeling a declaration of some sort. Very declarative sort of energy. Right? I'm going to fly this way. But all roads lead to Rome. Right? There's the inevitable transformation and uprising that you're being propelled, pushed, supported to do, supported to make. You're going to do it. You're going to do it, Scorpio. Absolutely. You have the Hierophant at your base. The Hierophant is right beneath this Three of Cups. They're both kind of like bird-like figures, right? You have a lot of flight, elements of flight in your spread, nonetheless, but the Hierophant is really speaking out to me significantly when looking at these two cards together, overlaid, as being very much connected to the birds here. Scorpio, I'm sensing that let me tune in here. See, okay, you have a contrast between radical change, right? Transformation, 360, totally, right? Like Scorpio 2.0, the phoenix rising from the ashes, and then you have this energy of complacency, right? Of just sitting, relaxing, right? But I'm feeling like something about this energy is not authentic. Like, it's almost like, it's kind of like this. Like, you know, when there's a group of people who you know, like, these people aren't really good for me. They're not really a good influence. Like, but we're a gang. We're like friends. This is us, right? This is our identity. This is who and what we associate with. So I'm going to like continue to do it. Sort of like social pressure, peer pressure, societal pressure of some sort, right? But you know, right? Like in the back of your mind, like in your subconscious, that voice, that inner voice is telling you like, this is not helping you grow. This is not helping you find ultimate true satisfaction, fulfillment. You're not truly expressing yourself. Here. The Ten of Cups, true expression, realness, authenticity is covered by this previous, right? Very sort of heavy, steady energy of tempering the fire. Right? It's almost like a blockade, like blocking it. Very interesting, Scorpio. As I flipped over this Three of Cups card, literally, a few shards of kyanite crystal just broke off of the kyanite stone. Kyanite speaking to truth of communication, clarity of communication, needing to speak your truth. Virgo got this very same concept. If you know a Virgo, if you have Virgo anywhere else in your chart, your rising, your ascendant, or your moon sign, absolutely check Virgo's video out. There seems to be some crossover. But there is a need for you to communicate in this. I'm getting like a Three's Company feeling. Like, and I know that you've been, it seems, involved in some sort of collective group effort, maybe towards a project of some sort, right? Something entrepreneurial. Right, so these can be maybe co-workers, these can be right, co-founders, right? Some people that you feel very much you identify very much with, right? Who are in your close quarters. And there's this feeling, but I'm sensing it's almost fake. Like, I don't know, it's not, there's something about it that's not clear and not real, Scorpio. But you're holding it in, Scorpio, you're holding it in. You know you need to fly away from the situation. You know it needs to transform in some kind of way, right? Maybe you need to be independent, because this is not independent. This is dependent, right? These cups, often in the background, right, of this card. There are 3 of them, and they're not even being looked at or used. It's kind of like for the sake of, right? That's kind of what it's like. Like, it's the same feeling of like, I hang out with XYZ people, not saying that this is exactly what this is like or that this is what is being done, but it's the same feeling, right, of remaining in a situation because you feel some sort of pressure, some sort of societal pressure or feeling of, I've been in this situation for so long, right? We technically are friends, we technically get along, we're of the same type in a way. But you know what? The Hierophant right beneath you, Scorpio, is like calling out your truth. Calling out your truth. I mean, look at these cards, right? You see it, right? That voice in your head. Speak, speak, speak your truth. Transform, even if it means being independent, even if it means being different, even if it means not being a, right, black-hued little baby bird, even if it means being a butterfly, a blue one, right? Even if you stand out. Even if it means that you have all of these colors and not just these colors, right? Look at these birds, they're all the same. There's no sense of like identification between them, right? It's just sort of like, because we are together, this is our identity in a way. This is our color in a way, so to speak. This is our energy. But you have so much more going on beneath the surface, Scorpio, that you're not expressing. And you've been trying to control it, but you know what? I feel like that tendency to hold and suppress and repress is over. Even if you try, you're flying straight into transformation. Right? That's it. Fine, I'm going to do it. That's it. Okay. All right. I'm going to do it. Right? That kind of thing. And in your base, on the very left-hand side, you have the 6 of Swords. In reverse. And the Hierophant is like calling right out to the 6 of Swords in reverse. And the 6 of Swords is right beneath the moon. Get these 2 cards together. This is a very interesting spread, Scorpio. The 6 of Swords, right? Right beneath the moon. The moon speaking of... One second. Suspense building here. Speaking of suspense. The moon speaks of suspense, right? In and of itself. It speaks to the period of not knowing, right? Being in the in-between. Like, look at this card. It's like you're standing in a dark forest at night, somewhat lost, somewhat maybe helpless, looking up into the sky, the night sky, at the moon, shining up above you, the only source of light, right? In a way, the foreshadowing, right, of the day to come. It's the moon's light that guides us, right, in our times of darkness. The moon symbolizes intuition, right? Symbolizes that very nurturing space, right, that we have with ourselves. That honesty that we have with ourselves. I'm sensing honesty is a very big thing here. Being very honest, communicating clearly with yourself and with others. I'm sensing that perhaps your resistance to whatever transformation this has been, and it can be flying free from a situation that you felt sort of held down to for quite some time, is, right, this feeling of, well, what's going to replace it? Right? What is the alternative? What's going to happen if I make this decision, if I do this, if I take the bull by the horns and stand up for my truth, what's going to be? What's that world going to look like, right? The world of the butterfly, so to speak. What is the world of the butterfly? And you know what, Scorpio? I'm feeling that is, if that is what's holding you back, that energy needs to be moved through, because you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that world looks like. It doesn't matter, especially not in regards to what you're experiencing now. Why? Because if it is your truth, if that situation, whatever future situation is that you meet upon rising up from something that does not work for you, that you know, oh my God, you know it, Scorpio, you know it doesn't work for you, right? If whatever that situation is that you fly into, it's like, no matter what it is, even if you have a fear about it, even if there's an inherent mystery about it, what is it going to be like? How is it going to be different from what I'm experiencing now? What I now call stability, or what I think is stable, right? What I think is enjoyable, but not in a true, independent way of communicating my truth and being my own free-flying bird, so to speak, or butterfly. Whatever it is, whatever situation it propels you forward into, is your truth, is the situation that speaks to your truth. And I'm feeling it's almost like a performance anxiety. That's what I'm feeling, Scorpio. I'm feeling that you know, you're a very intuitive sign, Scorpio, very intuitive. You know, deep inside, that it's something that needs to happen. You know that you want to make this change happen. You know it. But there's a feeling of, the final moment when I do it. And there's the sort of racing of thoughts, right? The strategy, how is it going to actually work? Like, if I do this, then what's going to actually... You need to do away with that fear. Of course, always follow your intuition. Always follow your personal intuition, Scorpio. But follow your truth. Follow your truth. Follow the space, the guidance by intuition. Don't focus on the darkness, right, of the not knowing. Focus on, well, you know what, maybe I'm in the dark for a reason, right? And the moon is here for a reason. Let me think, right? Where I'm being guided. By my intuition, where am I being guided? Right? Yeah, Scorpio. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what's so interesting is that, so you have these two cards. This card is very sunny, right? Seems very jovial. There's a lot of clarity on one hand. Clarity of environment, maybe, right? Of circumstance. Feeling stable in your maybe environment in some shape or form. There's a predictability to it, right? 3 is company, yet again, right? 3 being a very stable number. But at the same time, right, there is a darkness. There's an overshadowing, right, of personal identity in some way. Look at the color of these birds, right? And the cups. It's like their personal emotions and their personal sense of identity is not expressed here at all, right? The emphasis is on the environment, on the circumstance, on the situation. That's what is enlightened and brought to light. And so the Judgment card, right? If speaking of transformation from one place to the next, right? You're flying up from the darkness. You see, this is a transformation of your character. You're flying up from the darkness. Even if it seems like it's really light here, you're flying into and you're transforming into a whole nother world that will bring you a light and a clarity that resounds so deeply with your being. So much more than almost the stagnancy, right? The purported satisfaction that we find on this card that is so dependent and tied to our environment and others, right? There's a feeling of acceptance. There's a concept of acceptance, Scorpio, that I'm sensing is a big one here, right? Because again, you have this card, this very central card of community, of identity, of communal identity, right? Of societal identity, of expectation, societal expectation. And then you have these cards of like absolute wisdom and absolute truth and absolute decisiveness and boldness, right? Absolute resolve and initiative and courage and independence, most of all. So there's a feeling of needing to release ourselves from some sort of expectation of some sort that we place upon ourselves or that others place upon us. Okay? And I think it comes down to, you know what? Accepting yourself. Right? It's about feeling accepted because you accept yourself. Not because anybody else accepts you or what you're doing or what is right for you, right? Nobody can judge necessarily, per se, right? The butterfly and why it's a caterpillar and why it needed to go inside the cocoon and why it's now being birthed into this, why it needs to be birthed. Nobody can question that natural processes and cycle. That is the soul journey of that butterfly. Right? And anybody who judges that, anybody who wants to inhibit that growth, is not on your path of truth. Right? Of course, always use your intuition, Scorpio, but that's what I'm feeling. Self-reliance in terms of emotional satisfaction, in terms of a feeling of acceptance and love needs to come from within you, right? Resist the standard. That's what I'm hearing. Resist the standard. Okay? And so we have here, the very bottom left-hand corner, the Six of Swords, right beneath the moon. And the Hierophant is hollering out at the Six of Swords in reverse. The Six of Swords upright typically speaks to sort of the transformation of how we intellectually face a situation. Right? Swords speaking to the air element, speaking to our ability to rationalize, to strategize, to, mentally work through things. And it speaks to logic, right? Which is the opposite of the moon energy. Moon again, right? Focusing on intuition, the need to focus on the moonlight, right? To find our answers, even if they're not super clear yet, right? But we know that we're moving in the right direction by the moon's light, right? So, and there's this dichotomy between light and dark for you, very much here, black and white, which is a Scorpio thing, right? That is very much of the archetype, extremist type. But, right, there's a feeling of light and dark, stagnancy and rising. And look at on the top of the Six of Swords card, you have a rainbow, right? Speaking to an uprising. So again, right, I'm feeling resistance to, hold on, let me tune in here, Scorpio, 1 second. Very puzzle-like energy, Scorpio. Very puzzle-like. I'm sensing your way through this transformation is sticking to your intuition. I'm sensing that your resistance to this transformation is your resistance, you have to work through your logical mind. You have to work through your logical mind, Scorpio, your intellectual, rational mind, how you're thinking about it in a rational, intellectual, technical way, right? And you need to side, it seems, with intuition. And the Hierophant, your wiser self, that's what I'm feeling it is, or it could be someone, but I'm feeling really it's you, Scorpio, is like, turn this card upside down, right? Drop this old way of perceiving and of thinking, of rationalizing, and rise into the rainbow, right? There's no real light here. The rainbow looms above where the moon is, right? The irony is that when you rise up, even if it's into darkness of some sort, mystery, and you allow yourself, you surrender to the darkness in a way, and you allow the moon to guide you, you then find the light. You then transform into the light. You merge with the light. You merge with yourself, Scorpio, and you transform. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for tuning in. What an interesting reading. Interesting reading. And I, again, beckon you to speak, exercise that spoken truth, right? First with yourself. First, really entering that very honest space with yourself. And one that regards the intellectual mind, absolutely. This is an air stone. And I believe also water, as it's very psychic too, or regards the psychic realm, but really air, very much air, communication, as the Six of Swords in reverse communicates in and of itself, all right? So, thank you so much, Scorpio. Enjoy Valentine's Day. Tap into that space of inner love, appreciation for your journey, right? Your truth, your independent truth. What makes you you? What makes you unique, right? All of us are unique, right? Tap into that space. I will be back with your last quarter moon reading later this week. And that will sort of assess the movement of the energies as they follow and flow through the moon's cycle. All right, so going from the full moon that we just experienced on the 10th, trailing down into the new moon yet again, getting ready for a new moon cycle of energy. Okay, so that should be interesting to see how the energies are manifesting through the month. And then I will also be back with a March reading for you guys sometime this week. All right, so it should be interesting. We're already almost there, hitting the next start of the month, so tune in and I'll see you guys then. And also I would highly, highly recommend you to check out your ascendant, rising, or moon sign, as oftentimes those can provide a wealth of insight, right? I know that I resonate a lot with my moon sign, so if you don't know those signs for yourself, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide, enter in your details, and compute it that way. All right, it's kind of cool to get a feel for yourself beyond just your sun sign, as elementally there's so much more to our energetic composition. All right, thank you so much again, Scorpio. Enjoy February, the rest of it, and Valentine's Day as well. All right, bye.